All right, guys, a lot of you have asked how I am wirelessly tethering to my screen. If you look in the back over there in the middle against the wall, you can see as I'm shooting, the shots are coming up on the screen. And it's not lightning fast, but it's pretty fast, right? Look how quick that is. So how am I doing this? There's no wires, right? It's not that complicated. So there's 3 steps to this process. The first step is installing the Sony Imaging Edge desktop software. Then you've got to, second step, configure your camera for remote shoot. And third step, you've got to make the connection. Okay, so let's get into it. Step 1, you've got to install the Imaging Edge desktop software. I use Windows. I believe this will probably work for a Mac. Your mileage may vary. Go through the installation process. I'm not going to go through that. You know how to install stuff. The hardest part is probably the 3 times that you have to agree and proceed with the installation. All right, guys, I'm going to show you how I quickly set up my wireless tether using my Sony A7IV to my Surface Pro. You can use a laptop or what have you. The key is to set up your camera as a Wi-Fi hotspot, I guess is what you would call it. You're going to connect to it like you would a router. All right, so when you go into the globe down there and then go into remote shoot, it's number 1 up there, right? And then go over to remote shoot function, and that's where you turn on the remote shooting now. And I have it set to a quick, my custom menu, so that it's like right at the top. I can go to it whenever I go to a shoot. It's right there in my custom menu and I can access it very quickly. Now, there is a remote shoot setting to control the size of the images. So when you're doing the remote shooting, you can go to the save image size. Original, obviously, is going to be the original size. I set mine to 2, and that's going to be a smaller size, and it's going to sync faster. Okay, so again, let's go back. Still image, save destination. Mine's set to destination and camera, by the way, so it stays on the camera, on the SD card, as well as transfers over to the screen. The save JPEG size, I'm not sure that that applies here. I've got the definition from the help up on the screen. It seems to have something to do with the way that it sorts the images, depending on the record media sort recording setting. So I have mine set to large. You can, if you're experiencing slow transfers, you can try to set it to small to see if it makes a difference, but I'm not sure that it really applies here. The definition is really not clear to me, so your mileage may vary. So you want this remote shoot function, and you want to go down and choose Wi-Fi direct info, and then you're going to choose exit and go next, and watch this. It's going to create an SSID with a password. You're going to need to remember that. Take a picture of it or whatever, keep it up on the screen. Then you're going to go to your laptop, your Surface, or whatever you have, and you're going to go to your Wi-Fi settings, and you're going to connect to that SSID that I just showed you. See how I just showed up there? It ends in ILCE SM4. That's the A7IV. You'll click on that, and you'll enter that password that you had, and that's going to connect you directly to the camera. So your computer is connected to the camera. No more internet or whatever from this machine, just to keep that in mind. You've got a direct connection to the camera, and you're no longer connected to your router, okay? So I have previously entered that in, so you can see I'm already connected to it, and I've got the setting to automatically connect, okay? So the next thing is you're going to want to have the Sony Imaging Edge desktop installed. I'll put a link to that. You're going to want to bring up the remote. Sorry, the heater just came on. It's very cold right now. Give it a second. And when the remote comes up, you should see this dialog come up, and you should see the ILCE A7IV show up. That's depending on your camera, right? And it'll have an IP address. You want to double tap on that. If you don't see it, hit refresh and wait a second. If you still don't see it, you got to go down to your connection setting down there and make sure you're connected to the camera, the ILCE A7IV, okay? So I know that this is working because I can see that I'm now operating my camera and I've got a live view, right? Pretty cool, right? And no wires, okay? So now I'm going to bring up the viewer, okay? And when I take a picture, so I'm just going to take like a picture of this backdrop here, okay? And I've got some flash going. you'll see that that comes up on my screen. Now watch how fast it is, even wireless, right? I'm going to take another picture. You'll hear the click. So that's how fast it comes up, okay? Hear it again. See? All right. That's all there is to it, guys. Hope this helps you. Also, if you want to know how to set up your monitor vertically so that, let me take a vertical shot, your shots come up like that, I'll link that video as well. So, all right, guys. So in conclusion, this is a really easy, free, wireless tether setup that you can implement fairly easily, as I've shown you. Now, once you have all of this stuff set up, when I go to the studio, all I do is I go to that remote shoot setting and I enable the Wi-Fi setting where it gives you the SID and the password. My computer automatically connects to it, and I just open up the remote software, make the connection through there, and then I open up the viewer and I'm ready to go. It takes less than a minute to get the tethering set up going. So are there more robust solutions? Sure. Capture One immediately comes to mind. That's going to be obviously have a lot more features, but it's also not free. Okay. You can certainly do a deep dive into the features of the Imaging Edge desktop. I can tell you there's not a lot of capability going on there. It does have obviously the wireless tether feature, and there's some rating features and things like that. I haven't figured out how to make those ratings, and color labels is another one. I haven't figured out how to make those transfer over to, say, Lightroom. You can transfer some XMP settings, but it starts to get complicated, and I'm really just looking for something simple to see the photos as they come up on the screen while I'm shooting in studio, and that's it. So for that solution and a free solution, I'm pretty happy with this. Hopefully you will be too. Give it a like, leave a comment below. I appreciate you watching, and you have a good one.